Welcome back to an exciting full build video here on That Works. In today's episode, we're building a cleaver.
That's right, we're back once again to do something you guys have asked for a very long time, and that is a collaboration with none other than Will Stelter himself. He's here in Maryland. He did a fantastic demo at Matt Harris's Hammer Inn, and he had a few extra days, so why not make something?
Exactly. I feel very honored that I come out here and hang out at Matt Harris's Hammer Inn, and then here at the That Works studio / Mount Phillip Metalworks.
That's right. So like I said, we only have about a day and a half to get to work on a project, so we decided to make a pretty simple yet way overcomplicated project, and that is a Damascus Cleaver with a wrought iron body. It's going to be an awesome project, show a bunch of different stuff. Will's going to be able to incorporate some of the Damascus he made at Matt's into this project. So why don't you tell us a little bit about exactly what those edge bars are going to be.
So the main thing that I was demonstrating at the Hammer Inn was just Damascus in general, but specifically how to use swage / clapper dies underneath the power hammer to make tessellating patterns. Those are patterns that fit in with each other, such as a hexagon, squares, all sorts of other shapes like that. And so these bars are 8 layers of S's, and so they run back and forth like that, and then I ran them through a 3/4 inch hexagon swaging die, and so I think we're going to be able to stack those up, forward weld them together, and make something cool.
Yeah, and one of his bars has a little bit of a fat end to it, so we're going to start things off by getting all the hex bars nice and true. He's going to run some on the power hammer, and then I'm going to grind them. We're going to get them welded up. Why do you say we get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Before we get too much further with the forging, I want to take a quick second and talk to you guys about today's sponsor that made this awesome collaboration come together, and that is War Planet Online. War Planet Online is a free to download military real-time MMO strategy game set in a real-world map. It's available on both PC and on mobile, and you can truly play it anywhere. Whether you're traveling in a car or like me, waiting for your steel to heat up in between heats, you can play this game and have a whole lot of fun doing it. Now, if you're like me and you grew up loving the Terminator series, then you're in luck. Terminator 2 has recently taken over War Planet Online to give you guys all kinds of great missions to play and incredible rewards. And right now, you can fight against the Terminator renegades on the world map as you try to stop the impending AI apocalypse, better known as Judgment Day. And right now, if you install War Planet Online and log into the game, you instantly get entered into an amazing giveaway. That's right, you're gonna get a chance to win an official jaw-dropping T800 Terminator Skullbox merchandise. So what are you waiting for? Download War Planet Online today and help me and players from all around the world stop the Terminator invasion. Now, let's get back to the forging.
Well, now that we've got our 3 hex bars forged together, we're gonna go ahead and do 1 right hand twist, 1 left hand twist, and that will become the edge bars for our cleaver. Despite the fact that Chris isn't into making knives even a little bit, he reluctantly agreed to help us forge out the wrought iron part of the body of the cleaver. That'll be the back of the blade and the handle part as well.
While Chris continues to work on the wrought iron body preform, Will and I are going to continue working on the Damascus bars to get them ready to forge weld to the body of our cleaver. Striking is a very controllable but also pretty powerful way to move material around. It means that the director has a lot of control of where that material is moving. And the striker, so long as he knows what he's doing, isn't going to be hitting too hard or too soft, so you can get things to a very nice finish.
That's good. Yeah? Is that what we're thinking?
Oh yeah.
And then bar.
Yeah. That's it.
With a successful forge weld, it's now time to start cleaning off our preform. I'm gonna both sand on the sides, the edges, the profile a little bit before we continue on forging. Now one thing I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna use the narrow wheel to add in some ladder pattern onto the wrought and the edge itself. That way when we do the final forging on the edge, it'll distort the pattern a little bit more and just give it a really, really neat look.
Now we've got those edge bars stuck on there. We're going to use the age-old technique of a director and striker with Chris directing and me getting to swing a sledge. I really enjoy this because I work by myself, and so I don't get to swing a sledgehammer very often. Now, right now, I'm striking, and Chris is leading. Now, Chris is actually an expert bladesmith here, which is why he's the one directing. And so, in his experience, generally from this point on, we move to a flatter, just so that we can get that nice blade flattened down so that he has a little bit less time on the grinder, because he loves making knives so much. Yeah. But actually, though, Chris, I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is super fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Now Chris was rotating between a fuller and a flatter, which are two different types of top tools, while I was swinging the sledge, and that meant that he was able to control where that material went very carefully while keeping things nice and flat and even.
With the forging, we added a little more length than we wanted, so I'm just gonna trim it up a bit and then we'll continue on with the hot work. With the desired width now gained, it's time to start forging in our bevels.
Don't dive.
Like you and then hit 3 times harder than I do. Hello. The light.
We're filming here, Will. You're the best. Flat steel flatter.
It's now time to start hot punching in the signature hole on the point of the cleaver. Knife maker, and now
I'd prefer maybe like a little bit of a swell.
for you, Will. This is for you.
So now we're going to go ahead and start profile grinding, get it all nice and established, and then I'll move on to doing some of the edge grinding.
Well, what Matt was trying to say, but you couldn't hear him because he was all PPE'd up, is that he's going to grind the profile, grind the sides, grind everything so that it's ready for heat treat.
With the blade grinding now done, we only have a few steps left before we can heat treat our blade. First, we have to drill our 3 pinholes in the handle or the tang. Then I'll do a few normalizing heat cycles on the blade before we do the actual quench itself. Alright, now that Will has done a lot of the finished grinding to our cleaver blade, we have the edge profile done and we're already polished all the way out. It's time to start adding in the little details. I need to clean up the little hole that we punched earlier. I need to start rounding things over so it's a nice comfortable grip. And then we're gonna add some amazing file work up the spine of the blade before we go on to making the handle. Using a series of narrow wheels, I'm now adding in the file work, if you will, on the spine of the blade. I start by using a round wheel and making notches that are evenly spread apart. Then I flip it over the other side and add the notches in the negative space to complete that look. I then use a very narrow wheel or a knife edge wheel to add in small little grooves in between each of those rounded grooves that I made before. This mimics the action of a triangle file in traditional file work. now that I got the blade hand sanded to about 1,000 grit, it's time to do our etch. We're gonna do a pretty deep etch to bring out all the characteristics of the wrought iron and on the Damascus edge. But let's go ahead and take a sneak peek. With the bulk of the metal work now done, it's time to start addressing what our handle is going to be. We're going to use a slab handle construction, and I've chosen to use this beautiful piece of curly maple for our handle. I go to the antique arms show every year, and there's a custom gun stock builder there who always saves me his extra leftover pieces of wood that really have outstanding pattern, and I always buy a few pieces every year. So this handle, when it's finished and antique, is really going to give us a really high-end yet handmade antique feel to our cleaver. So let's go ahead and get started. I like to use a little dab of super glue to attach the scales temporarily to the blade, using the holes that are already in the tang as my template. To get things started with the handle sanding, I like to establish the perimeter first, just like I do in my blade grinding. With the perimeter established, I now start doing the contour and the general shaping of the handle before rounding it over, knocking the corners off, and doing the final sanding. This project was a total blast, and I'm so thrilled that we finally got to work with Will Stelter. The handle just needs a little bit of hand sanding, some final finishing, and then our cleaver will be finished.
Well, this was a super fun, very awesome project. I think it came out really, really well considering our very constrained amount of time that we had to work on it. What a blast. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, it's an absolutely great project to do quickly. If you guys don't follow, I'm sure you do, but if you don't subscribe to Will Stelter's YouTube channel, make sure you run over there. He's got some other footage he's going to be uploading of his time here in Maryland. So make sure you run over there, check out his videos, give him a sub. And we got some great ideas for some more elaborate projects coming your way very soon. So thanks again, Will, for being here.
One quick note, I think that the best thing that came out of this whole project overall, I mean, a lot of fun collaboration there, but really it's just cool that we were able to kindle and ignite Chris's passion for knife making. I think he's going to be heading over and actually joining the ABS soon, testing for journeyman in a couple years. He was just talking to us about how excited he is to get into the bladed journey.
Speaking of ABS, Will is actually joining me, and we're both going to be testing this year at Blade Show. So if you want to follow along, you guys know I'm going to be doing a series of my path to journeyman smith. I'm sure you're going to document some of that stuff as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it could be fun for you guys to watch us both go through the same struggles together and hopefully both test this year. So thanks for watching this video. It's been fun to do our first collab together, Will, and we catch you guys
On the flippity flip.
next time. See ya. Well, I can finally knock that one off the bucket list. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Like this video, and don't forget to tell us in the comments below what you'd like to see us build on our next collaboration with Will. And as always, we ask you to consider subscribing to this channel. That works.